Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and welcome to episode 8 of the DGA podcast. I am your host, Vince, and with me is... Who are you? Idly. Nice. So, you've been my co-host for 8 episodes now. How does it feel?
It feels tedious. I'm just kidding. It feels awesome.
Tedious. We're off to a great start.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
You know, I got a comment on the last podcast that I did, and someone said that I used too many sound effects.
I wonder if they've seen you play marbles on stream.
Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it.
Because you definitely use a lot of sound things.
Everyone has an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion on how it should be done. You know what? It's my podcast. Unless you're throwing money at me, you have no say on what goes on. Just saying.
Yeah.
You can suggest things. That's fine. But there's no guarantee that I'll implement any of it. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's my vision. I'm mad with power. Anyway.
Yes. As you're in the Star Trek bridge crew.
Yes, thing. Did you notice that in the background there?
It's amazing. I'm so jealous. I'm red with envy.
Red. You made your camera that way though, didn't you?
I did.
Is there a reason? Like, is it like for blush purposes or what?
No, it's just to hide my already red face.
It looks like you've been to the beach for like 3 months straight and haven't left.
I have like red spots and blemishes, so I like, you know what? So I'm just like, let me just make my face super red so
it's
that way.
Makeup without makeup.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. All right. Good to know.
I want to see if hold on. Whoa. Don't look at me.
I'm judging.
What if I do it like super black? No, I don't like that. Hold on, wait. Okay, super green. The Hulk.
I don't have a Hulk sound effect, unfortunately.
Aww. Right.
Hey, had I known, I would have prepared a
sad.
Hulk.
Blue
What is Hulk known for saying? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like it when I'm angry, or something like that. That was David Banner. That was the old Hulk TV show.
Yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I don't know.
With Lou, somebody. Anyway, so yeah, episode 8. We're gonna do our typical top 5 stuff. This one I think was a little lengthy. At least the title was. Top 5 games that are frustratingly difficult to figure out, but we love them anyway. So these are games that I jumped into and was like, rage quit. Come back. I really like it. Rage quit. Come back. Rage quit. Come back. Rage quit.
I just called this top 5 games that made me look stupid. That's all.
That's a good title too. Remind me after this is over. Maybe I'll title it that in the top 5 YouTube. In the title. But yeah, they're fun. But they're also frustrating, but fun to play anyway. Like, and some of them I've actually managed to figure out. So like, after several hundred hours of playing it, I finally figured out how to play it. But still, some to this day,
steep learning curves.
Very steep yes. So, but they're still. I typically don't like playing games like that. I've got several thousand games in my Steam library at this point, and I don't have time to devote my time to one game to learn it, but these are games I come back to regularly because I like them.
Yeah.
So, number 5 on my list, and I actually pulled up new sound effects for this. I don't know if you can hear them, but...
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, that's like what I'm doing with my little headphones. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, 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 wow. Are you always this wow?
Wow, 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 wow.
Are you always this wow?
What's his name? Gordon Shumway. No,
Gordon Shumway. Ramsay. Yes, Gordon Shumway. Gordon Ramsay lived with the Tanners. He crashed into their garage.
Stop watching Alf with me because I'm starting to know about it, and I hate that show.
Lynn, he had a crush on Lynn for a while. Gordon Ramsay, obviously, yeah. So anyway, yes. So
wow, 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 wow.
So that's the number 5 sound effect.
Number 5 sound effect is this.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
He only says it 4 times.
5 times. Listen.
Wow, 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 wow.
That's 5. It cuts out for you,
that's
but he
right.
does say
That's
it 5
right.
times. Yes.
Okay, all right.
See,
so what was your number?
I actually paid attention and cut it just at the right time, so I know what I'm talking.
You put it in slow motion and then you counted it. I know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. It was painstaking. My number 5 was Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4, I've never played the games prior to it, but in Hearts of Iron 4, this game takes place in World War II, and you get to pick basically any country that you want. It's obviously easier to start off with the United States or some major power that has a ton of money, but you could go smaller. You could go with Italy or Turkey or any other country, even in Africa. So, like, you can pick these countries, and then you can try and see how well you do with history. You can even set it so that history doesn't play out the way it was supposed to. So it can be like a free-form 1940s plus, simulator. On paper, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's like Rome, Total War, these massive strategy games where you pick a country and you deal with all these other countries and backstabbing, and you raise armies and diplomacy and all that. Like, all of that's fine. But what frustrated me here was shipping people from one location to another across the sea. Like, managing your units in this game, so convoluted and so frustrating. I rage quit several times. I loved the idea. I built up the United States. I was constructing civilian and military facilities and creating armies. I kind of figured out how to create like regiments that were like groups of different army people. You could customize them a bit. But then I got to like planes, and I'm trying to figure out, how do I organize my planes? How do I assign them to this group? How do I get them to patrol this area? How do I get... Like, the interface was so god-awful and so frustrating that I quit it several times. I still like it, but the controls and the interface and just nothing was very fluid. So I quit it on a regular basis. Now, I don't think you've ever played this game, to tell you the truth.
I don't remember. I think I may. I think I played it once and I got frustrated, and then I quit it, and then I started watching someone else play it.
Oh,
and I would rather just watch people play it than play it myself.
You'd rather swallow a hammer than play it again, or what?
Yeah, it's like you know how you said like the UI is clunky and stuff.
Yeah,
that kind of surprised me, because Star Wars Rebellion, the UI was kind of worse, I think.
Well, at least with Star Wars Rebellion, the old school Star Wars Rebellion, I had more time than as a kid to play it, because I wasn't into YouTubing and stuff back then. So I had more time. I spent several hundred hours playing it to figure it out.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I still think that the mechanics and like moving people from one location to another in Star Wars Rebellion was easy. You click and drag and move someone to the new planet. This game, you try doing that, it doesn't work. You have to set choke points, and then there's attrition loss, and then there's all these other factors that go into just moving a unit. It's frustrating. This is a game I would need to spend a lot of time on, and I don't have the will to do it right now. Maybe later. But this was my number 5 entry. I don't play it as much as I do the other ones on this list, to tell you the truth. Like, I've played it for, I want to say 10, 20 plus hours, but I have not revisited it as regularly as the other people, or as the other entries on this list. What was your number 5?
Mine was GTFO, and I'm sorry about
allergies.
Yeah, I have super crazy allergies.
All right, I will spare you.
Put that cookie down now.
I will spare you from putting the cookie down, and
put the tissue down.
Put the tissue down.
It'll be over in just a few minutes.
It's fine. So, what is GTFO? It's a first-person.
GTFO is a very difficult 4-player game
that you can play solo, but you can't play it solo.
You cannot play it solo. Like, you can explore solo and die and not get anywhere in it because there are traps, there are puzzles, there's a lot of stuff that only a full 4-man group can do. You can't even do it 2 players, you can't do it 3 players. You have to have a full team. And I like the game. I went on the Discord. That's one thing also that's really frustrating is that it does not have a quick match in game or a lobby or anything like that. You actually have to go on Discord first on their Discord and team up with people there. And yeah, it's a weird system, but I like the game. I've played it several times with strangers, and I've met really cool people on there. And it was fun. It was so frustrating because I didn't really know what I was doing, but when you have a commander commandeering you and telling you like where to go and all that stuff, and you actually follow directions, the run goes smoothly, even though like you don't really know what you're doing.
Right. So like it's not. See, I'm more of a casual Left 4 Dead kind of person where you can jump in to a Left 4 Dead game. Yes, you do need people with you because there are special infected that will hold you up and other people have to free you. This game is it's impossible. The difficulty curve is so high, and it doesn't scale. It doesn't scale at all for 1 player, 2 player. It's a shame too because I like the idea of the game, and but because it doesn't scale, I'm like, why bother? I mean, I'm not.
It doesn't scale because it's meant to be a 4-player game. There's no way to do 1, 2, or 3 players. So
then why give players the option to play it as a 1 or 2 or 3 player game if it's broken anyway?
I think it's just to explore or just to
practice,
just to get your feet wet. But the game is actually meant to be played as a 4-player game, and even though it's very difficult, I still really like it because when it gets dark, it gets dark. Like, I've never seen anything so dark in a game, and it's creepy. The sounds like on your left ear or on your right ear, those clicks, the creepy monsters. I mean, they did the atmosphere very well. It was so well done.
I want them to take this graphical and like visual and audio mechanics and stuff from this game and copy and paste it onto a Left 4 Dead 3. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Give it I want a casual Left 4 Dead game, but with these audio and visual graphics. I think that would be fantastic. I would love it.
I think that's a good idea, honestly. I think the problem with this one is that they turned away a lot of people that they could have had, you know?
Yeah, because every developer has the right to their own artistic vision. And if they don't want to make it easier or more accessible to other players, that's fine. But then you lose player base doing that. Yeah. So it's just how focused do you want your game to be? You know.
It's true. It's like they use too many soundboards, like sound effects.
I don't know. You know what? I don't use that many sound effects. I seriously don't. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why people think that I use a ton of sound effects. I don't really. I think you know what it is.
That's baloney.
It's baloney.
That's baloney.
It's
No. That's a lot of baloney.
It's a lot of baloney. I don't use that many sound effects. Anyway. No. So that was your number 5, was it?
That was my on a quick note on that too. Like, even though I've rage quit, I've never rage quit with like a full team. I've only rage quit like solo. Rage quitting in a full team is just like rude.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah. I agree. There's got to be some. Yeah, I agree. All right. So my number 4 is
Wow.
Maybe
I knew it. I knew it.
Wow.
There's a pattern emerging here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a pattern.
I didn't do this before, to be honest. I did not. I did not do the Titus laps 4, 3, 2. I did not at all do anything like this before. So
the cookie, the cookie monster.
I did not do that. I got a copyright hit on that. I had to actually cut out one of that.
Did you?
Yeah, you know that song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was copyrighted. So I had to cut that part out. Can you believe that crap?
That is
of all
ridiculous.
songs, of all things, that was my first copyright hit on all of my podcasts so far. That was the song that did it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
I'm gonna
12.
sing it, okay? You better not copyright me, because I did it in a different pitch.
Are you always this? Wow.
No, you always as wow.
My number 4, and I'm stalling because I'm clicking buttons. Number 4.
I know. I saw the white screen flash.
Kerbal Space Program. Yes, this is a game that I wanted to figure out and learn, but I just kept crashing my shuttle repeatedly. Mm-hmm. I love I'm a big space person, big Star Trek fan, big Star Wars, big space. I love the idea of managing your own space, department and building rockets and sending them into space. But then this game gets into things like you got to worry about center of gravity and thrust and yaw and there's all these other terms that I've never heard of before. Mm-hmm. And you've got to be really exact about how you're launching the rocket. How much fuel you take with you. If you don't have enough, you'll fall back. But I love at the same time, I love the realism associated with it. I may not make it into space, but it's still fun to shoot the rocket up in the air, and then the Kerbals just slowly descend back to the planet, alive, hopefully.
Didn't someone who worked for NASA actually make this game?
That I don't know. I don't know. I know it was a small team of developers, but I don't know who developed it.
Okay.
But
I could have sworn that I read somewhere that NASA was actually a part of making this game.
It's possible. It wouldn't surprise me considering how detailed and in-depth it is. And then in later patches, from what I remember, this is from several years ago, mind you, because I haven't touched it since. There was science. There was a progression system where you did various science experiments in the rocket. You sent this goo up into space, and then you saw how the goo interacted with stuff, and and then that earned you science points, and using those science points you could then unlock new shuttle parts and other things that would help you out. Or if you didn't want to take the game seriously, you could just create all sorts of weird design. I'm watching the background screen here. I have one video dedicated to failed shuttle designs. It's just crash and burn for 10 minutes. It's really funny. But that's the fun of this game. You could be as crazy with it or as real with it as you want. There's a sandbox, so you could just create the shuttle of your dreams, or like I said, there's a progression system. So have you played Kerbal?
I've played it once or twice. I didn't like it very much, honestly. I didn't know what I was doing. I crashed and burned. It's just, and then to actually take the time to learn all that stuff, I couldn't do it. I failed at science. And I was good at math, but this is super science and super math, and I was just ugh, no, I'm done.
I understand. Well, I got as far as orbiting not the Earth, but whatever the planet is called, the Kerbal Earth.
Oh, okay.
You can go to the moon, the MUN, but I have not managed to do that yet. I just the act of orbiting, getting the shuttle into orbit, and then staying in orbit. That alone took me so long to do. I can't imagine how people are able to go to other planets, land, do science, then lift back. I feel like I need to be a rocket scientist to figure out this game, and I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
It's just more fun and easier to blow things up, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, that was my number 4 entry, and I'm trying to stall as long. I want to see if this shuttle actually launches. There it goes. Do you see it?
I do. I see it.
That is the ugliest shuttle design. Oh, look at it's.
It looks.
Do you
chunky.
see things? Yeah, it's very chunky. You see how they're shaking?
Yeah.
I can't be safe.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes.
That's Perfect.
I want to play this game again just so I can do that.
Oh my god!
But this was 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago possibly. So it may have gotten better since then.
Yeah, start it back up. I'd be pretty curious.
I might do that. It might be fun, and then I'll rage quit it. What was your number 4?
My number 4 was Barotrauma.
Barotrauma.
Oh, I like the game.
The community is toxic and the game is frustrating. So
the community is what makes me rage quit.
I like the idea of a submarine. This is a submarine simulator. You tell me about it. You go ahead. You tell me.
Barotrauma is really fun. I spent a lot of hours on this. I've met some really cool people. I've met some really terrible people on here, but more cooler people, I think. Like, there's Discord channels for good teams, but Barotrauma is where you take a submarine and you go from point A to point B. And along the way, you have to try to steer your ship and shoot things that come attack you. There's a campaign that supposedly, I haven't played in a while, but supposedly their campaign is a lot better now. And it's more intuitive and it's cooler looking and all that. They updated graphics and stuff. There is a mode that I absolutely hate that that I find it frustratingly difficult is when the trader mode, when someone is it's kind of like Among Us, when someone is a trader among everyone.
On a submarine, that would in theory that is so awesome. The idea of a trader mechanic on a submarine game, like that, to me, that is awesome. I love that.
The problem, though.
If the game weren't so hard and difficult.
No. I don't think the game is hard and difficult, because once you learn about it, once you actually know how to do things, it's fine. It's smooth sailing. The trader mechanic stinks in this game because everybody can kill each other. So as soon as
the match starts, everyone just kills each other without even.
It's a battle royale in a submarine. It really is. I'm telling you, it is.
But with if people what if 5 of us, like with Among Us, what if 5 or 6 people got together and played this with a trader mechanic? That would be fun.
Except the servers, hosting a server is just what was the word you use? Asinine.
I love that word, asinine.
It's awful. Hosting a server, it's so convoluted and complicated. You gotta port forward this, you gotta accept this, you gotta do all this stuff.
Packets this, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw the PC out the window. That, yeah, I understand.
So
are there still different classes in this game?
Yeah, there is. I think they even added one more class. I don't remember, honestly.
Okay. There's an engineer, there's a captain, there's I don't know who else.
Engineer, captain, mechanic, and security, I believe.
Cool.
And what's cool, though, is that you can go to different outposts and purchase materials and stuff that you need. I think that's pretty cool. But the controls, they definitely take some getting used to. It took me 2-3 days to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get past the clunkiness, it's not so bad. There's a submarine creator.
Oh, yeah?
So you can actually create your own submarines. And it has the Factorio feel where you can do different logistics, like putting wires together and all that. That's pretty cool. But I don't get that stuff, so I just download them from the Steam Workshop, and then I try to tweak them later on. But yeah, I don't know. I like the game. It is frustrating because of the community,
High difficulty curve, terrible, toxic community, and I like the idea of a bunch of people managing a submarine, or just one person with AI bots managing a submarine, going out doing jobs, coming home, stocking up on supplies. To me, that is really cool. I like that idea. It's just if the game weren't so clunky and there's some stuff I don't like. The mechanic, for example, has to do stuff with wires. I don't know how to do any of that. As the captain, I can order the bots to do stuff, and that's what I like to do.
They actually made the AI bots a lot smarter.
Did they?
So if you actually take a submarine, download one, or use one of their pre-mades that's a little bit bigger, you can have more crew, you can have more AI bots, and they will actually do things.
Oh, cool.
So I think that's pretty awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, it's mostly the difficult monsters. The monsters are so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And the community is what is so frustrating in this game.
Well, it's a shame too. I mean, that's a game I wanted to like, but I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll go back to it. That's fine.
I figured you would. I know you're a glutton for punishment on occasion.
Masochist.
Mm-hmm. My
right,
number
so...
3 sound effect.
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh gosh.
What?
Wow, wow, wow.
It's so original.
What?
It's so good.
It is. You like it? I'm glad you like it.
Wonderful.
My number 3 is a game that I've been played in 5-6 years. It's called Infinite Factory. It's a first-person... It's kind of like Satisfactory before it was Satisfactory. In Infinite Factory, it was a puzzle game. You were captured by aliens. The human race was captured by aliens. You were captured by aliens. And you were forced to work and to puzzle out how to move objects from the start to the finish. Round things would come out. You'd have to slice them in half, rotate, and then get them on a conveyor belt over here. Like, I liked the game up to a point, but then it reached a point where it was like I couldn't figure out anything. I reached a point where my brain was like, you know what, I've had enough. I can't handle it anymore. It's no longer fun. This is now a difficult, tedious puzzle game that I don't want to play anymore.
Work.
It is. It's a lot of work. And like, I at first I was really happy with it because I was like, oh yeah, like this is easy enough for me to play, but still a little thinky. Like I have to think a little bit about what I'm doing. Oh, maybe I need to invent this new process. I did that. And I got through several levels doing it. But I reached a point where I was like, really? What in the world am I supposed to do with this? How am I, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the difficulty spike went up like that. And I was like, nah. So it's a game I like to come back to, but I don't stick with it long because while I like the idea of it, like a Factorio puzzle game, it's just too frustrating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's not doable.
To me, it's not doable. To other people that have more time on their hands to figure it out, then yeah, I would say it's doable. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Have you played this at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've seen you play it though, and I was like, this looks kind of fun. But then I would think that if I started this, I would just Google all the answers. So
Wow. Now, see, I never did that. I had to come up with the solutions all on my own. You know, get pieces to drop right onto other conveyor belts, or it was hard. Like it reached a point where the difficulty spike was just really high, and there's no hint system. So, or at least a hint to tell you need to develop a new process for this map that does this with these conveyor belts. Then you need to flip it. Like there's nothing like that. Nothing in game like that anyway. I'm sure there's wikis and stuff now or YouTube videos, but still. This was one that I played like 5-6 years ago. Got frustrated, came back, quit, got frustrated. I just kept doing back and forth until like, I'm not touching this anymore, ever again. But I liked it. I still like the idea of the game. It's just I know better now. You know what I mean?
But would you still play it?
I would like to, yes. I want to come back to it. I want to play it. That's why it's on this list, but I just don't know when that'll be. Just because of how busy I am, you know?
Aww.
But, yeah, that was my number 3. That was Infinite Factory. What was your number 3?
Mine was Flame in the Flood.
That's a game I played in its early access or alpha, but I've never played it since. It's a survival game, right? Or how does that work?
It's so difficult. It is so brutal, dude.
What's it?
It's a glutton for punishment.
You're on a raft. From what I remember, you're a character. You're on a raft. You visit, you dock at these islands, and you scrounge for supplies, you leave the island, and you rinse and repeat. Have they added anything since I've last played it several years ago, or?
To be honest, I don't know. I haven't played it, probably just as long.
Oh, really?
But I love this game. I loved the atmosphere. The first time I played this game, I just fell in love with the music. The music is, like, everything.
I remember you saying something about that.
Oh my gosh, I download the soundtrack. I listen to it all the time after so many years. But anyways, so It's a hard game. Like it really is. The Long Dark?
Yes.
It's actually harder than that, I think.
Really? Harder than... What makes it difficult? Is it the fact that there's not enough food or supplies, or what is it? Enemies?
I don't know. It's like the lack of resources. Like you really have to be finicky with all the resources that you're collecting and that you're distributing and all that, because everything's so limited. And then in the raft, once you do the little phase where you're swimming in the raft, if you crash, oh my gosh, like that's just game over right there. But I did hear that it has a great story at the end, and I may have spoiled myself.
See, see you and your spoilers. Have they added difficulty modes? I mean, if it's easy, if they added an easy mode, I would happily come back to this just to try it again.
To be honest, I don't think they did,
okay.
But I would totally check though just to see if they did.
Fair enough.
See.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a hard game and it's frustrating because of how difficult it is. But I would totally play this all day again.
I remember the beta, alpha, beta, whatever it was back then, but I don't remember. I don't know what it was like at launch. I didn't cover it at launch. So it may have improved. I don't know. But yeah, that's a cool game. All right. So what are we on now? Number 2?
Yes.
Number 2. Now, I guess you can't... I bet you can't guess what the number 2 sound effect is.
Wait. Let me guess. Is it oxygen not included?
Wow.
No, I'm the sound effect.
Wow.
Not the
I thought
game.
you're asking me about the game.
No.
Wow.
Wait. Is it Don't Starve Together?
Don't Starve Together was on my special mentions.
Was it Factorio?
I will reveal it in a minute.
Okay.
It is Factorio. Factorio, it is difficult. Like the learning curve on it is pretty high. Like you have to it may not be like frustratingly difficult, but it's frustrating when you're trying to do something but can't figure out how to do it, or it'll take hours to figure out how to put this together. And it's frustrating because I've seen people, they've got these blueprints that they just plop, 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 I beat the game. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there, okay, one factory for this goes over here, and then, I'm just slow. Like, I take my time with it. People know the recipes and the ratios. I know, like, other people are like, this much steam for 2 steam turbines.
They have it down to
so aside, they've worked out the math behind it. I'm not one of those people. Every time I play this game, it's slow. I play it slowly. I slowly progress. I tone down the monsters so that they're not as aggressive. Like I'll scale them back, minimize how big they get, and how far away they start. Like I'll put them further out so I have more time to react. And it's a fun game that way, you know what I mean?
That's why I love this game. Like, you can play it in so many different ways. You can be as hardcore as you want. You can be as casual as you want. You can be as anal or scientific as you want. Or just, just go with the flow. I love Factorio. When you told me this list, there were 3 games that immediately... popped in my head, and I didn't want to include them because they were too obvious. They were too on the nose, and Factorio was one of them. So, yeah.
I wouldn't say that this game is as frustrating as other games on the list.
Yeah.
Because, like you mentioned, there are multiple ways to play it. You can even put the enemies on passive. So the only frustration that you'll encounter in that game is not being able to figure out how to get these machines to work together or this part to go over here. It's more of it's a slow burn kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for me because people have worked out the math behind it. I have not. So I'm slower. That's my real frustration with it, is trying to get all the things together. It's a fun frustration, though. It's not a rage quit frustration. But I love the game. It's one of the best games I've played ever. You know what I mean?
I remember when I spent a month trying to make like a really cool design with lights or like with automated lights.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just every time I got like an inch closer, it was 2 steps backwards. And then finally I was just like, forget it, I'm done.
And then meanwhile, you go onto YouTube and people have Frere Jacques in the lights and music tones.
It's computer programming, you know?
Right. Or conjunction gates and different things like that. The
logic gates.
Right, logic gates. Yeah. So I've never messed with anything like that. In fact, I've launched the rocket in Factorio without ever doing any of that programming stuff. Yep. You know. So yeah, Factorio is a brilliant game. It's just sometimes it can be frustrating, but in a good way. I love it anyway. So that was my number 2. What was your number 2?
My number 2 is Artifact.
Artifact. That's it. That was I saw that on your list, and I'm like, what about it is frustrating? What do you find frustrating about it? Is it the fact that it's pay to win kind of thing, or what?
That too, but it's mostly because I'm just so bad at the game.
I don't think you're bad at it. You beat me the last 2 times we played together.
That was total sheer luck. You have no idea like how many brain aneurysms I have when I play this game. Like I try to like this is a cool game because your strategy always changes. You know, it changes nonstop. That to me, my brain has a rough time with that, and it gets frustrating. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's like pulling teeth, doing the whole laning back and forth type of thing.
I like the multiple lanes. That's a neat mechanic.
I like it too. I like this game. Like I like everything about this game. It's just it's very hard for me. It's a very difficult game for me. But I do enjoy it. I want to get so much better in it because I would like to start earning my own cards in the PvP modes, but I fear that I will never get there because I don't know. I find these kind of games so hard for me. Like I can't wrap my head around the strategies and all that.
I love the game. One thing I don't like about it is the lack of PvE progression. Like you can do one of those battle against the AI things. It's like a gauntlet. You just have to keep winning battles, and when you get to the end and you win, you win. That's it. You don't get any prize. Nothing.
It's a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. But other games that I've played, like I don't remember, the Argent Dawn, I think, or something. It's a card game that I have on my phone and on the computer. It's like Magic the Gathering, kind of, sort of. In a gauntlet, the further you get, the better chest reward that you get, and you get more chests. So it's like it gives me a reason to play single player content. Artifact gives me no. It's all PvP, and it's either that or pay money to acquire the cards. I don't like that.
Multiplayer.
It is. I don't like that at all. I want PvE progression. If I defeat a bot, I want to earn something for it. I want to earn a card or
XP, because you can
something.
Look up your profile in this game, and the fact that you can't, like, you're always stuck at level 1, it's kind of sad. It's disheartening.
It is. I would play this more. I would play this more if it had more benefits to do so. But as of right now, it's just a pay-to-win card game. And not to say that pay-to-win is bad, because a lot of card games in Days of Yore were pay-to-win. You go to a store, you buy one of those mystery 15 card packs or whatever. You don't know what you're going to get. It could be a rare, it could be a bunch of crap, but the more money you spent, the better your collection became, and that was pay to win back then. Now it's just pay for the card online, buy it, and you get it. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it can't appeal to everyone because not everyone has the money to throw at a card game like that. But I still like the game. I love the mechanics, and I love the combat. I love the different decks, like the different colored decks, the red, green, blue, and black, I think it is. They're working on an Artifact like 2.0. Did you know that? It's in a beta state right now. They're working on it. I'm not in it, but it looks like they're trying to redo the game. How successful they're going to be is beyond me, but I don't know. Hopefully they don't change the overlay too much, because the graphics are really good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Anything else to say about Artifact?
The music is good. The graphics are good. The gameplay's fine. The game mechanics are fine. It's just my tiny brain is very difficult.
Nah, it's not tiny. You just think differently than most people, just like me.
Yeah, I guess.
Uh-huh.
That's such a nice way to put it. He's so nice, folks. He really is. He's so nice.
Well, no, I'm that way too. I'm one of those people that my brain is wired differently. So when people are like the common complaint I get on our board game videos, not common, but every now and again I'll get someone, you should play the game several hundred times before you make a video of it.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, you know, I'm not getting paid to release this video. I'm doing you a service for posting it in the first place. I don't have the time to play one game several hundred times to get the rules down before posting it. You know, if you like the game, great. If not, you know, that's that. And reading the rulebook, sometimes I have to watch a video or see other people do it as an example before I learn it. So everyone learns differently. Everyone does things differently. Anyway. So we're on number 1, right?
Yeah. Rant over.
Rant over.
Wow.
Just one.
Just one.
Wow.
One. Wow.
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 Wow. Are you always this? Wow.
I love that. Well, my number 1, you've already guessed it. Oops, wrong button.
Is it Oxygen?
It is Oxygen Not Included.
Yeah.
Oxygen Not Included is... I feel like... I've played it for, 20 hours the last week?
Yes.
I love it. I love this game. I love it so much, but it confuses me. Like, there are parts of it that I don't... It's frustrating. It's... Oh, my God. Like, the automation stuff is confusing to me. Like, I had a system where... And this is something, like, I was trying out. I saw that chlorine gas disinfects. So I brought chlorine gas into my polluted water chamber in the hopes that it would disinfect the germs out of the polluted water. It didn't work. So I'm like, okay, so maybe it needs a container to be around. Like, maybe the chlorine gas has to completely envelop a container. And it did. It worked. But then when everything was pollution and germ-free, I let it flow into my main reservoir of clean water, and germs just appeared there. I'm like, what happened? Why did germs appear there? It should have worked. But something behind the scenes didn't click right, or I did something, you know, there's a lot. I spent 2 or 3 hours on that one thing alone, you know? And then you've got these other things that you find, like, if you feed this creature this, there's a chance that they'll lay an egg that'll hatch into this special creature, which will do this. A lot of this is that you gotta look it up on the wiki or a guide somewhere to really learn how to play it, because it's not that obvious going into it how to do it.
Yep.
But I love the game regardless. This is a game I want to beat. I want to stick with it until I beat it. But it's so frustrating getting to that point. You know what I mean?
I agree. I love this game too. You hit it right on the head. I love this game. It's so frustrating. I'm not a science person at all. The graphics really keep me into it. The managing resources keep me into it. I lost you when you said, what was it, chlorine?
Yeah, so I mean, like, different, you find, like, in this, there's different biomes. So you'll find chlorine gas in the one biome. If you click on the chlorine gas, it says it disinfects. So I'm like, maybe I can use the chlorine gas to get rid of germs somehow. And then you've got to figure out a system to get the chlorine gas out of the pocket that it's in, into a pocket that you want it to be in, without getting into the rest of your base, and then try and get a container in there, fill it. Oh wait, I've got slime in there. It's emitting polluted oxygen now, and now that's mixing with the chlorine. Oxygen's heavier than chlorine, so oxygen is now floating up here where my container is, and the chlorine is down here where I don't want it to be. I want it to be around the container. Each gas in this game has different weights. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, chlorine, hydrogen. All of these things have different weights, so you're trying to manage all of it, and it's frustrating all to hell. But it's such a fun game. You know what I mean? If you can get it to work right. How far did you get with this?
I saw on a YouTube video that they did like this really cool contraption, and this is how far I got. They did this really cool like little hill, and they put water in like a dip, and it was like a doorway, so that all the chemicals stuck to one, like all the gas or whatever stuck to one side because of that little tiny water dip.
So they abused a gameplay mechanic, little. I don't like that. Okay, I want it to work because I don't like stuff like that because that's just you're beating the game programming and not the game itself. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
you're beating the developer's lack of ability to fix that one little glitch.
But it's an exploit. It's there. Might as well use it.
I don't like exploits. I want to win.
If the game is that frustrating, by all means. I mean, it's not going to change like a whole lot,
Right. No, I understand what you're saying. It's just, I don't know. And then temperature. There's temperature in this game, so things get hot and cold, and machines will make the surrounding area hot. That you can build machines that will heat things up, but there's only one machine that you can build to cool things down. It's an ice machine. It's a manual crank. You've got to have someone crank cold air. But then you find the frozen biome. There's Wheezeworts that you can put into your base that will emit cool air. So like I don't know. There's so much to this game, and I love it. If there were a game out there that made my head hurt to the point where I would need Excedrin on a regular basis, this is the game.
It was
but
Frostpunk.
It's a good hurt. Well, Frostpunk is less of a mind screw and more of a just difficult. It's less of a city builder and more of a puzzle. Like you've got to figure out what the build order is in Frostpunk. That's a different kind of difficult, in my opinion. In this game, it's more... Yeah, because in this game...
Wasn't it like Infinite Factory, whatever, that one that you just showed?
Yeah, Frostpunk and Infinite Factory are kind of sort of similar, but Frostpunk is... the reason I get frustrated with Frostpunk is because the difficulty doesn't scale right. On easy, it should be easy. It should be a casual experience. It's not. So to me, that's the developer's fault, not mine.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? That's a game flaw, a gameplay flaw, in my opinion. If you're going to put an easy mode on something, make sure it's easy so that 95% of players can beat it. Not maybe 75, 60, 50% of people can beat it. No, that's medium, that's hard mode. You know what I mean? If easy should be easy. But if your game is going to be difficult on easy, then that's a whole separate problem. This is a thinky game, like Factorio, that forces you to use the objects in the environment in such a way that you didn't expect. And I have yet to be... I'm not an expert at this at all. I'm still early mid-game. I've never gotten to the surface. I've never launched the rocket to end it. I've never done any of that. So I would like to.
I think the last time I played was before the Germs update, actually.
Oh, fun. Have fun. You can turn that off, though. You can put Germs on.
Yeah.
And, I was tempted to do that just to, like, you can customize your startup a bit. The way I'm set up is I'm germ resistant, but not immune. Because I still want to deal with the problems, just not as crazy. Like, I don't want my people dying just by breathing lungworm or slime worm, whatever it's called. So, yeah, that was my number one. Oxygen not included. Love it. What was your number one?
Mine was Ark Survival Evolved.
Ark. So what's frustrating about Ark?
The stupid dinosaurs.
Is it it's just hard? Is that what it is?
It's so difficult. It makes me rage so much, dude.
I haven't played this in years. Have they changed it at all since you've last played it?
They made it even more difficult.
How so? There were those little raptor guys.
There's even more things that want to kill you. Like, there's so much.
Can you at least make a base? Like, is there a safe area?
There is. There's a few safe areas, but whether you survive in it is a huge RNG thing. Like, okay, I was just playing, right, a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they recommended a safe area for me. I went in there. I spent forever building a tiny little hut. Just a little hut, 4 walls, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm finally getting things together. You know, I finally built my shirt. I can finally wear a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, this huge black jaguar cat type of thing just runs at me like a bat out of hell. I wish that you had it like on your recording thing.
I do.
This would have been perfect. No, like you know.
It was that, right?
Yes, it was that. And it proceeded to attack me, and when it killed me, I came back to my hut, and he destroyed all my walls and all my floors.
Are you serious?
Horrible.
So
he destroyed my whole house.
Can you still set the server so that like you punch a tree and you level up 15 times?
Yeah, you can. I don't like to play like that because it's just so cheaty in my opinion.
I think it's necessary though in single player because like the game is so it's so stacked against you. You kind of need I wouldn't say level 15 times punching one tree. I mean like double the XP gain or maybe just decrease or increase the amount of experience you get.
I do. I increase certain things so that it'll be applicable for just one person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to just breathe on a huge T-Rex and have it die.
Yeah, right. Me neither. I want it to be a difficult fight, but at the same time, I want some breathing room. You know what I mean?
There are some animals too. Like they did add a lot more animals that don't kill you too, which is really cool. They still make like really creepy noises.
Oh, cool.
Like I think it's called the oviraptor. That thing is like Sandy. It is so cute. Like he'll sit there and he'll look at you, and then if you get too close, he makes a noise and he runs away. And he has like this huge little rooster like thing on his head. It's really
neat.
funny.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's another game I want to get back into at some point, just because I like survival games. I want to make sure that if I do go back into it, I want to play on a mode to where my base is going to be somewhat sturdy, and as soon as I spawn, I don't want to be eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The base, like I started another one right after I got mauled, and so far so good. Like I haven't seen anything bad yet, but I'm expecting it.
You can also, I think, make it so that you get less thirsty less often and hungry less often. Stamina, temperature.
I do love that you can customize almost everything. But again, like I kind of like the realism of being lost, and terrified on a huge island with all these things that are going to kill you. I just don't want to be killed.
No, I understand. And the water too, that's creepy. I think the last time we played, we got on a raft or a boat or something, and there's this huge Leviathan thing. I don't know what it was, but it was huge. Remember that? I don't know if we have recording of it. They added
more water monsters. It is the creepiest thing.
They added more?
They added more.
The worst water monster I remember was this crocodile thing. It looked like a crocodile. It would swim near you and bite you and stuff. That was the worst one.
That was my first pet, actually, that I've ever tamed.
Really? You can tame one of those? How do you do that?
Oh, yeah. Just like you can tame almost any other monster.
You have to force feed it berries or something, right? Berries that make you sleepy. The narco berries.
With the alligator, it was meat.
Oh, was it? Okay. Was it called narco berries, or you had to poison the meat, I guess?
Not poison it, just you had to make him sleep with narcotics.
Right.
Like with an arrow tip that had narcos on it, and then when he was sleeping, you would feed him meat so that he won't starve to death.
Oh, okay. It's been years since I played it, but I want to play this again. I really do.
I do too. I would love to play this. We got to play this co-op.
Right,
it'll be like 7 Days to Die.
How big is the game though? Is it like several hundred gigabytes?
It's I actually had to download it on my D drive. I had no space for my C drive.
Yeah, figures. That's a good game. I can understand why. And you got frustrated why? Because of how difficult it is?
It's very difficult. It's also like really scary. Sometimes when I get too scared, I'll F4.
I understand. What scares you more, the water stuff or the dinosaur stuff?
The water by far.
Mm-hmm.
One of the scariest parts about it is as soon as you go in the water, it feels like your ears plug. Because you have that noise, like the blub, blub, blub. As soon as you go underwater. And then when you stick your head up over the water, the surface of the water, you can't see anything down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like dark. It's such a mind a mind
Mind
thing.
screw. Yeah, I see. Yeah. It's psychological. It's like that's why I don't like going into the ocean ever. Like in real life, stuff bites you in the ocean, and when I go into the ocean, if I look down, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Anything could be down there. You know, there could be a squid or an octopus ready to. I don't know, or a jellyfish.
Yep, I agree.
So forget that. No, nope, wrong.
Look at that little dodo in the water.
Yeah, that's the first animal I tamed was a dodo.
Aw.
I love that thing. So
I only tamed that crocodile first because I had joined a community.
I was wondering how you were able to do that so easily.
No, it took me like almost, I think it was 4 or 5 hours, and they helped me with it, so that was pretty cool.
Neat. It takes several hours or something, right, to tame a monster. You have to keep it asleep for several hours.
You can adjust that though. I definitely adjusted that. I'm not gonna wait. Like, what was that? My friend said that she had 17 hours for a T-Rex. It was ridiculous.
My God, 17 hours.
How do you even get that much food and try to like not?
What if you leave the server? I mean, you'd have to like, if it's an online server, you'd have to have someone like babysit it for you while you're trying to tame it. That's ridiculous.
She said that it was like a 3-4 person process. Like people were just coming in and out trying to save it.
That is nope. We'd have to adjust the settings. Is there still rubber banding? I remember, based on what I'm seeing here.
But you can increase it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because it was really bad before. I don't know what it's like now.
Yeah, I don't think they changed. They did change a lot. The graphics look better. It looks like it's performing a lot better. It feels like it, I mean. So...
The gameplay I'm watching, and that looks good. And that was 5 years ago. According to I uploaded this in 2017. So it's 3 years later. I'm sure the game has gotten better since then.
Yeah. There is one thing that I'd like to tell you about it.
Yeah,
but I don't
spoil.
Want to spoil. So.
All right. Yeah, keep that to yourself. I'll install the game at some point and give it a shot.
Okay.
Do you have any like special mentions or honorable mentions?
I do. Oxygen not included. Don't Starve Together in Factorio, like I mentioned.
All right.
You know, those are also frustrating games, but fabulous. And they would have been in my top 3, except I wanted to showcase something that wasn't a little bit too obvious, like I said earlier.
Makes sense.
The other ones are We Need to Go Deeper.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's a cooperative submarine game.
Barotrauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's more cutesy though.
Yeah, it is. Like the art style is pretty cool. It's like comic booky. And then Le Havre, the inland port.
Le Havre. Oh yeah, the board game. Yeah.
That's frustrating to me. Like for some reason, I can wrap my head around it after a few hours of gameplay. But like when I first get on there, every time I start the game, I have to like start it all over again, over and over. Like the learning process. Small World. That's when I rage quit so many times.
Another board game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. Scythe Digital Edition.
It's a game I've never learned to this day.
Really?
Yeah, I've tried twice to learn it, and I never could figure it out.
It's hard. I like the game, but it's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And Twilight Struggle.
I'm not an expert at it. Some people have that down to a science. Oh, if you get this card in the first round, you want to play this because your opponent may have it. It's like they know the cards already by heart and what to do when you get them and what to give your opponent. I like Twilight Struggle. I really do. I'm not an expert at it. I'm a beginner, but I love the idea of a Cold War battler. That's kind of cool.
I like the game, but I lose every time, like to the AI, so I'm terrible at it.
Nah.
And it's so frustrating playing it. Whereas in Wingspan, you know, if I still play it, like if I play the AI and I lose, I don't care because I have fun with it. But with Twilight Struggle, it's like, oh, come on.
No, I understand.
What about you?
I only had Satisfactory was a maybe. It's more of a tedium game, though. I wouldn't call it frustrating. I would think that Factorio has more complex mechanics than Satisfactory. Satisfactory just appears harder because it's first person, and you can't. It takes longer to get from factory to factory. Whereas in Factorio, you walk and this group of factories to this group of factories, and you're there within seconds. Satisfactory, you have to spend 1 or 2 real in-game minutes walking from one location to another.
Yeah.
And it's more of a time slog than difficult, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Don't Starve was another maybe. That's another game where it's like there are mechanics hidden in the game that you don't know until you wiki it. You know what I mean? And then Stellaris, the Star Trek mod. Like every time I come back to Star Trek, or come back to Stellaris, it's for the Star Trek mod. I want to play a 4X Star Trek game. But every time I have to relearn Stellaris every single time because it's not a typical 4X game, space game. There are other mechanics in it that are unique that take some time to understand. So that's a maybe for me. Sometimes I get too frustrated with it to like, I'm not going to bother. I'd rather just play something simpler. Sins of a Solar Empire and do the Star Trek Armada 3 mod. Rather do that, So, yeah, I didn't have too many. Just Satisfactory, Don't Starve, and Stellaris. So, all right, folks. So that was our top 5 games that are frustratingly difficult to figure out, but we love anyway. Love anyway. Love. I don't know. Community segment. So we're going to talk new releases, sales, and all that good stuff. New releases. Steamworks Build and Rescue. It's 30% off, $25. It has very positive ranking on Steam. It's a flight simulator with programming. I've never played it, but you can check it out. It's got a launch sale of 30% off. Atomic Crops, 0% off. There's no launch sale, but it's like around $11 or so. It has very positive reviews. It's a very strange roguelike. I received a key for it on Epic and covered it there in the past, but now it's on Steam. It's okay. It's just weird. You'll see what I mean when you get there. As far as other new releases, I really don't have any. There are some other ones, but a lot of them were like indie hentai trash, so I'm not going to touch those with a 10-foot pole. Sales, Steam sales, Mordhau, which is like that For Honor game, but it's like chivalry, medieval warfare. 50% off, it's $15. Dawn of Man, 30% off, $17.50. The Long Dark, 25% off, $23. Yep, you like that one. Sheltered, 75% off, $3.75. Ratropolis, 30% off, $10.50. That was a weaker woo. I guess you don't like that one as much, do you?
It's okay. I like it still.
Knights of Pen and Paper, Knights of Pen and Paper 2, 75% off, $2. Green Man Gaming. I've got a link to Green Man Gaming in the below description. If you click on that, it's an affiliate link, so I'll get a partial credit. Life is Strange sale. So the Life is Strange games, they're on sale anywhere from 75 to 83% off for about $3 to $7. So I think that includes all chapters. Oh, wow. Shadow Tactics, 87% off, $5.10. Townsman Kingdom Rebuilt, 57% off, $8.50. Deep Sky Derelicts, 71% off, $5.78. Beholder, 85% off, $1.50. And Distrust, 85% off, $1.80.
That's a good one.
You like that one?
I love that one.
I like the idea of it. That's where they were in like this. It was like The Thing. You ever see Stephen King's The Thing? It reminds me of that a little bit.
It's so creepy.
Humble Bundle.
Such great graphics. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It was a top-down isometric. It was a top-down isometric ice cold survival game, right? With aliens. It was like alien things following you around.
It's like Stranger Things in the winter,
I guess. All right. Humble Bundle. Again, I have a link in the below description. You can pet the dog bundle. It's $12 for everything. There's things like Dog Sled Saga, Blair Witch, and Scribblenauts. So there's other games in that, but if you like any of those 3 games, you may want to check the rest of that bundle out. Better Futures bundle. Again, $12 for everything. Torchlights 1 and 2, This War of Mine, and Knights of Pen and Paper 1 and 2. So you can, and including other games. So if you like what you hear there with those games, then you may want to check out that bundle. So yeah, that was our game deals and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and move on to our weekly Spanish sentence of the week. Yes, so we all know what's coming. You just might as well accept it by now.
Mm-hmm. You gotta change your background.
To the next generation. Yeah, I should. I don't have a background queued up for that. At some point, I'm going to have to do that. So that was...
like a big Chihuahua face.
Yeah, Chihuahua War, or I can put a sombrero on my head somehow. I don't know how that's going to be...
That would be kind of awesome.
That would be great. Or if I can get a permanent trumpet to just stick out of my mouth while I'm talking.
No.
No?
No.
Every time I open, it's sort of like those Facebook face things where if you open your mouth, something happens. Like every time I open my mouth, tacos come flying out or something. That would be awesome.
Oh gosh, no.
Taquitos.
Oh my gosh.
So, Spanish sentence of the week. She comes up with a sentence for me, and I try and translate it. Bienvenidos a la catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo. La arena está de bote en bote y arrancamos. That sounds like the announcer from Heroes of the Storm. I remember that. Blah, 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 Nixo! Blah, 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 blah. I remember him doing that in Heroes of the Storm. Is that what you did? You pulled this from Heroes of the Storm?
I don't know. What do you think it is?
I don't know what it means. Bien good. Bien is good. Good venidos. What's a venidos? Vitamins. Good vitamins. Good venison. Vitamins. Yes. A good venison. It's good deer. A la cathedral. De las mejores. Majors. Majors in the army, like majors, people. Battles. Major battle. Del in Nexo. I'm guessing if I'm in the Nexus, possibly. So good deer, or good deer in the cathedral. Good deer in the cathedral. All the good deer in the cathedral. There's a major battle in the Nexus. That's the first sentence. And the next sentence, la arena está de bote en bote y arrancamos. The arena is the bots in bots and camouflage. And Aaron, someone named Aaron is wearing camouflage.
That's what you think the announcer says?
Yes, that's what he says. I know what it has to be. What else could it be?
Okay. Very good.
So that wraps up Spanish. So what does that? What does it mean? All right, you tell me. What is the announcer saying?
He says, "Bienvenidas a la catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo. La arena está de bote en bote y arrancamos."
That's what he says. I just know blah 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 Nixo blah 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 blah.
Catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo. La arena está de bote en bote y arrancamos.
So what is he saying? What does he mean?
He says, "Welcome to the cathedral of the best battles in the Nexus. The arena is packed and we begin."
That's it?
Yeah.
All of that. What's bienvenidos is welcome?
Bienvenidos means welcome.
Oh. But bien is good.
Yeah.
How is bien welcome?
Well, like I'm doing well. How are you doing? Bien. I'm doing well.
But I thought bien was good. All right, interesting.
It
all
is
right.
too. Bueno is good too. It's I don't know, it's Spanish for you.
I see.
Don't worry.
Sure, we'll go with...
At the end of the 20th podcast, you're going to be giving me a Spanish.
Oh, I will. I'll be using the heck out of Google Translate, but it'll... All right. We don't have any pet pictures this week.
Nope.
So get on that. Send us pet pictures. The DGA podcast at yahoo.com, or put them on my Discord. Just put a picture there. Let me know that, it's for the podcast. Instead, I pulled... actually pull that up now. In the previous podcast, one of the previous podcasts, I did a Kickstarter featurette, little mini featurette. Games that I saw that were coming to Kickstarter that looked kind of cool. So, here's an example of one that I thought. Frostpunk the board game. Frostpunk, really? Frostpunk? What do you do with Frostpunk the board game? That sounds really cool. I don't want to play the video and get copyrighted, a video within a video, but it's going to be on Kickstarter at some point. Based on a video game by the creators of This War of Mine, Frostpunk is highly successful strategy, survival, city builder game. We all know what Frostpunk is. So here's a quick look at the box.
Do you have This War of Mine?
Not the board game. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
That would be a pretty complicated board game, I would think. Several hours to play.
This is by the same makers.
Right. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I'm looking for actual pictures if I can find it, but
I'm just hoping it's not as convoluted as Northgard, the board game. I would be so sad.
I hope not. I'm clicking on... Okay, so there's... I don't know if you guys can actually see this. There's a little picture there of the components. That looks kind of cool. The Kickstarter page is not coming... is not here yet. It's an upcoming project. But it looks cool nonetheless. So I'm on the lookout for that one. Another one I saw, Streets. It still has 9 days to go. It's clearly met its goal. It's crushed it. 6,000 some backers, made by the same people who did Villagers. That's a game you didn't like. I thought you didn't like that one.
I don't remember, but I know that it was with the little houses, right? Or was it with the cards?
No, it was cards. It was mainly cards. It looked kind of like this. All right, you'll have to watch it again. But yeah, this is some screenshots of what this particular game is going to look like. It looked very vibrant and colorful to me, and that's what stood out, so that's why I'm touching on it now. It looks interesting. I kind of liked Villagers. You place a building into your city, or into the city. When a street is enclosed, all buildings in it are sold for money. Meeples move to new buildings, so it looks like there's money and city building and street building. I don't know, all of it looks cool. So this is one I'm going to keep an eye on for sure.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember.
You remember? It was in the same style box, that really rectangular box. You see the box on the screen?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was okay. I remember.
Okay.
It was all right.
So yeah, that was just a quick Kickstarter segment. Nothing too fancy there. As far as game night goes, this is the last segment. Scheduling time for, I'm guessing, Words on Stream. I'm going to say just this Friday, 7 p.m. EST. We tried Among Us and the last community night. It was a blast. We had a lot of fun. So if you don't have Among Us yet, I died. I was terrible at it.
Me too.
But I did win one as the saboteur. I did win one.
One? I thought you won more than that.
Most of my time was getting... I killed people, but then they would catch me after the fact.
Okay. But yeah, you can play free on mobile too. If you don't have it.
$5 on Steam, free on mobile. I think though you have to actually buy it to create a server, right? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how that goes.
Oh, I don't know.
So, yeah, long story short, we're going to do, I think, Words on Stream and Gartic on Stream this Friday, but if another game is suggested, we'll entertain that. Again, Friday nights, 7 p.m. EST. And go to our Discord channel, link in the description, and you can suggest games there. Well, that's it for episode 8. Episode 8. Can't believe we're this far in. Yeah. So if you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince and Ida Lee. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.